So common problems with lack of strength, pretty straightforward. Upper body injuries. I would say if I've gotten to the point now, thankfully, where if I saw an upper body injury with a golfer, and the common one is tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, one of the first things I'm doing is I'm going and I'm assessing their lower body strength and their lower body mobility. All right. And then I'll get the weird look from them of, this guy's nuts. He's one of those quack jobs who, thinks that I got some energy force in my thumb pad that's going to help my golf swing. But it really is, if you think about the energy transfer that I was talking about before, a lot of golfers, male amateurs especially, we're so upper body dominant with our swing in terms of we try to get all of our energy and our force from our upper body, maybe our core, but it's our core and our arms. And so we end up kind of chopping at the thing like an axe. And there's really little lower body involvement. So over time, if you play enough golf, you probably never really had an elbow issue in the first place, but your swing pattern and how you're transferring energy through your body was leading you to overuse the elbow and the upper body. And now all of a sudden you have an elbow symptom, but the true problem was your lack of lower body strength. So it's really important to make sure that just because your shoulder hurts or your elbow hurts, it's important to know that because the golf swing is total body and it's an energy transfer that's supposed to happen, a lot of things can feel like a problem in one place, but they're actually a problem coming from something else. Common one, again, is knee pain. If, you're, especially on your lead leg, if you're rotating into that knee and the hip is not doing its job strength-wise, that knee kind of takes on more of the stress as a stable joint. If the knee's not doing its job, then the knee all of a sudden takes on more stress, and it's this very similar thing. We'll see people come in, front knee pain, outer knee pain, test their hips, and their hips are garbage, and their quads or thighs are actually relatively strong, but their hips aren't really doing much for them. So you play enough golf, those problems build up over time. Or if you don't play golf at all and then you go and play your weekend warrior bash, they can really add up that way too. Back pain is easy. First of all, if we lose posture, if we're coming out of posture, if we're constantly changing posture within the swing, then your back is changing positions. And sometimes it's going from a flexed position and rotated to now a rotated the other way and an extended, and some of these things that there's going to be some variation that's normal, but excessive variation of coming out of posture, losing posture, your back's going to pay the price for that. But again, like I talked about in the upper body injury example, if the legs aren't doing their job and you're trying to start your swing from up top, or you're starting to swing with your core, now you're asking that core to do something where it was supposed to just be transferring energy from your legs to your body, but now you're actually trying to start the swing and initiate the swing with your back muscles or whatever it is. That usually doesn't end up well for people. So if you haven't gotten the hint yet, leg strength is uber important for the golf swing. And then I think the other aspect, if you're more of a walker and you like to play 18 and you play repeated rounds, or you play multiple rounds a week, or maybe you're as intense as you'll play 36 in a day or whatever it is, there's a different stress with the golf swing. So it's not cardio, right? It's not walking on a treadmill for 30 minutes. You're walking, but then you're coming up to your ball, you're kind of analyzing, and then it's that 2,000 pounds of force in the flap of a butterfly's wing. So that over time, that power production and that speed that is required, if you don't have the strength to tolerate that, you're gonna fatigue and lack energy, lose energy. You're gonna feel a lot worse after your rounds, and it obviously will probably affect your performance at some point if you're not strong enough to handle that type of combination of a tiny bit of cardio, very light cardio, hopefully for most of us, but then a big power production in a flap of a butterfly's wing. That takes its toll on you if you don't have the strength to tolerate that type of conditioning. So I don't get too crazy about golf specific training, meaning there's a lot of things that basketball players do and football players do and some runners do. A lot of their workouts can still help you, and those types of workouts would help you for your golf game. But how you program those workouts and how you train for that is a little bit different. There's a little bit of more specificity that needs to be done with that. So this week it's all about resisting those movements and getting the isometric strength and starting to tolerate some load without creating pain anywhere. But next week it's going to be about how quickly and how powerfully can I move through resistance and only do 2, 3, 4 reps at a time and then rest, not really light 30 repetition type exercises. So there's a little bit of specificity we look for with that when we do our strength training. A couple obvious ones again, losing club head speed and therefore distance. I said at the beginning, club head speed does not guarantee distance. All right, we have 5 or 6 actual, believe it or not, things that will affect distance. But one of the biggest ones is smash factor. So smash factor is ball speed divided by club head speed. And you can be an efficient striker because of good technology and good technique, but there's only so fast that ball can get if the club's not getting faster. So speed is a prerequisite for more distance if you want more distance. Loss of posture we talk about. Now here's an interesting one. You can actually be playing, if you don't have the right kind of strength, you can actually be playing the wrong clubs. So not just club decisions while you're on the course, but your actual technology, your actual equipment can be inappropriate for you. So, you might go in and somebody gives you the stock clubs for your age and maybe what you should be swinging, and you can be playing the wrong shafts, the wrong clubs because of a lack of strength. So I would say that's my little pitch for making sure you get fit or have somebody who understands the technology side to make sure that if your swing speed is a little bit slower and you're not developing speed, then you might need a different set of clubs. Or if you were a little bit slower, but now you're working on some of this stuff and you're gaining speed, you also need to make sure you identify if you have the right technology as you gain speed as well. So that can be an issue. And then obviously playing multiple rounds in a day or multiple rounds in a week, just due to the limited capacity. When you play golf, again, I said it's violent. So it doesn't seem like a big deal, but if you have to make that powerful movement and it's not being done correctly, or you don't have the strength to do it, it's going to be very tough to handle that repetitious nature of the sport.